Hello friends, this is Chinmay Das from Ethereal Elixir, and in this episode we are going to try chocolate ganache. Very few ingredients. We need some chocolate chips, we need some heavy cream, little bit of salt, and very little bit of butter. So let's check the ingredients and let's try the recipe. Here I have 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips, 2/3 cup of heavy cream, 2 teaspoons soft and room temperature butter, and pinch of salt. Just 4 ingredients. Now let me move to the induction cooktop, and I have a small saucepan here getting heated up. I add the heavy cream to it. So remember, we are not going to boil the heavy cream. We are just trying to bring it to a temperature right below the boiling point. We just want to temper the chocolate, because if you expose the chocolate chips to high heat, then it will turn bitter. And we do not want a bitter chocolate ganache. So this will take hardly 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, you can see the bubbles forming up on the sides, on the edges. And that's when I switch it off. You bring your saucepan to the countertop and add your chocolate chips. Spread the chocolate chips evenly on your saucepan. And then keep it on the countertop for around 5 to 6 minutes. After 5 to 6 minutes, it will look like chocolate milk. If you look at it, this almost looks like chocolate milk because the chocolate is getting melted, and that's when you use your hand whisk to stir it slowly, and then gradually you can increase the speed. So keep stirring and it will look like a batter. So that's when you add your salt. Keep stirring till you get a smooth, thinner consistency. Now it looks like chocolate batter, but we do not see the shine of a ganache. And that's where the butter goes in. Once you keep on adding the butter and keep stirring, blend it real good, and you can see that shine in your ganache. So let me show you the consistency here. This is quite flowy, quite liquidy, and once it cools down, it will be really thicker. And you can use this to frost a cake, cupcake, macaroon, or have it with ice cream. Or even if you want to spread it on top of a bread or roti or paratha, give it to your kids in a lunchbox. So this is how it looks like. It's quite thin, quite flowy, but let it cool down and then refrigerate it for around 2 to 3 hours. And after 2 hours, we'll come back to it and I'll show you what's next. So after 2 hours, this is quite thick now. And I have a piping bag here. I trimmed the tapering end and then I inserted a coupler. So using a coupler and cap, it helps you to change the tips of a piping bag. I'm using a Wilton 224 drop tip. This is good for cupcakes, or like when you want to make small drop of flowers, or you can use this tip to make borders of a cake. Both way it works good. So let me insert it to my piping bag and tighten it using the cap. And then I'm going to add a good amount of chocolate ganache in my piping bag. Look at it, it's really very thick, and it's at the same time it's creamy. It literally melts in your mouth. So this is how you work on it. Like I'm using like press and release, press and release, press and release, press and release. So that's how the border goes. Let me move to another tip, which is Wilton 32 star tip, and this works really good when you want to decorate the borders of a cake like a shell. This is also known as a shell tip. So let's move on to our breakfast. I have 2 slices of bread here. I just spread the ganache on the bread and then press it so that the ganache spread all around. And I also have a heart-shaped mold here. I cut it at the center, so edges are for me and the centerpiece goes to Nishka. Okay, so look at it. Now this looks like a macaroon. Ganache at the center, and ganache is being sandwiched between 2 breads. So this is not done yet. Let me add some decoration to the plate, and I'm using the same Wilton 32 tip, and I just decorate it on the edges. And I also have few frozen berries from our garden, so I'll serve it with this and hope she likes it. Definitely not a healthy breakfast though, but you can try it once in a while. And do try this recipe and do let me know how it turns out.
Hey guys, it's Nishka Das and I'm going to be trying this wonderful creamy ganache, which is also in a sandwich with some berries from our garden. So my dad used a shell piping tip and made the ganache into these wonderful decorations, and we're going to be trying it right now. So I'm going to take off this berry and I'm going to eat it. And as you can see inside, you can literally see the chocolate ganache, which is also creamy. So now we're gonna try it. So as I said, the ganache is really creamy and it goes really good with the bread, and it like literally melts in your mouth and it will make you explode totally. I can eat this ganache with anything. I can eat it with bread because we're eating it with bread right now, and I can eat it with cake, cupcakes, munchkins, and even with roti. So I can eat it with anything, and it tastes so good. Now I'm gonna be trying only the ganache. So I'm gonna scoop up the decorations. I'm gonna eat it. It tastes really good. It's like you can really feel the chocolate inside it, and it's really creamy. Like it kind of has a really smooth kind of creamy texture, and it's really good. And it's really good. So please do try this recipe and subscribe, share, and like. And don't forget to smash that bell icon. Goodbye.